Then, as you know, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, both of us are wearing pink at the behest and the request of our producer, who said we must celebrate women's, and women's always wear pink, apparently. So that's why we're both in pink. So again, happy International Women's Day to you and yours, yeah? But we get into the conversation of being a woman. It is such a vast conversation. I feel like whenever we speak about womanhood, it is so different to so many different people, but we always try and curate it to just that one woman that we saw that was successful. So right about now, let's try and break down what it is about being a woman and being a woman who is you. Being you, the woman. Don't try and be Turife, don't try and be Kathomi. What do you want as a woman, right? And the first thing that comes from being a fully grown, a full, well-rounded woman is just falling in love with yourself. And we're talking about every single part of you, the parts you hate, the parts you love. You need to figure that out, because guess what? That is still you. That is always going to be you. Do you not like how your skin tone looks like? You're never going to change that. And well, if you do, there are consequences to that, yeah? You don't like the way you fit in your clothes. You can change that. Or you can stay as you are and love that person. Because we can all not look the same. We can't all go and ask for Kim Kardashian's body. And you know, the way you go to a doctor, an esthetician or a plastic surgeon, and then you just show them the picture.
Yeah,
and
like
we're all
this
just
one.
showing Kim Kardashian. It can't be like that. We need diversity. We need not to look like Instagram filters, basically.
Exactly.
And that starts from the basics. I think we've spoken about this many times on the show. Every day, personally, I go in front of the mirror, butt naked, and I look at myself. I look at the marks that my bra has now left, because for some reason I was wearing a bra that was scratching me and I didn't even know. Now I have some marks on the side. I look at my lady love handles and I'm just like, okay, so now you are 2, now you're 3. All right, but like, how do we get back to a 2? I look at my legs and I notice I bunt myself. What happened there? How was I not being careful? I look at all my flaws, and I also look at all the things that are beautiful about me. My skin is always glistening and glowing. And that small step, it is difficult at first. Turi will tell you, because she just started. It's difficult at first, but guess what? You normalize it. You start to see yourself. You don't want to be those people who walk on the streets alafu unaambiwa, na masikio yako moja kwani nakangaje, and you've never noticed your one masikio looks sijui aje. Know yourself. Go look at yourself. Fall in love with yourself, your brain, your mind, how you think, the kind of life you're living. Fall in love with all of that. It will help with getting you to that full woman that you want to be.
And also just being selective about your surroundings, and more so limiting the access that people have to you. And that will bring you so much happiness and so much joy, because I used to be a people pleaser. I am a reformed people pleaser, you know. I will do anything that brings you joy and happiness so that we are friends.
At my
and that
expense.
would be so draining, and I would always be so unhappy on such a deficit all the time. But the minute you start limiting who has access to you, who you're going to be around, if you're at work and where 2 or 3 are gathered, it's just negative talk. It's just excuse yourself from those situations. Like, endo kakunywe maji, go drink something. If you're at school and, you know, where anyone is seated, you go sit down, people start talking and saying, angalia ule venye sijui anakaa. Limit yourself, ondoka, excuse yourself. If there's that one ex who checks every 3 months if you're still stupid, you know, anakanga nacheka sama, ha, let me check if Wanjiro is stupid. And then he texts you, hi, I've been thinking about you. And then ghosts you. Can you finally block that number? You know, limit the people who have access to you, and then you're so much happier. You know, there are no inconveniencing situations. No one is hitting you up, talking the most, you know. Even relatives, limit them. If there's just one, that uncle, he never calls to check up on you. It's always, nitumie kakitu, nitumie this. Cut them off. Yeah, I love you, you're my family member, but this relationship is not working. Cut them off, block them. We also had recently Extiendela,
The mother.
and the mother coming online talking about, you cut me off. We don't know the circumstances. We don't know what happened in that situation. And maybe he's just pursuing peace for himself and his family and his wife. Yeah, he was so Prince Harry in that situation. I was like, you know what? Good for you. Limit the people who have access to you. Limit the surroundings you're in. If you're not happy at a certain job, leave. And then, find another job. If you're not happy somewhere, get out. Even in a relationship, if you're always waking up, Ama, he walks into a room and immediately you're like,
Butterflies
oh my
in
God,
your stomach.
can he just die? Can you get out? As in, why are you in that situation?
Yeah, and don't just assume that it's your surrounding, as in your physical surrounding. What are you watching on your phone? What people are you subscribed to? Who are you following on socials? What do you watch on TV? Like, what series are you following? All of these things, they really do determine what kind of person, what kind of mood you're in constantly. So try and surround yourself with the energy that you're trying to seek. If you're trying to be smart, watch smart things. Be around smart people. Read books. If you're trying to be a dumb bimbo, it's fine too. Go out and hang out with the rest of the slay queens where they are. Tunawajua, simnajuana.
Actually, that happened to me. This girl, she was in Kenya and then she moved to the States.
Yeah.
So now her whole aesthetic changed. She now hangs out with rappers, Akina Drake, Akina what. And it's always something. It's always, I'm going for surgery for what today? And at some point I was like,
Why am I following this girl?
I'm unfollowing you. I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
I can't be comparing the fact that we're the same age and you're just doing the most and it's all superficial and it's all a lot.
That's where she is. Let her be superficial. But are
Unfollow.
you?
Exactly.
Unfollow. It's very easy nowadays. It's like literally, tata, you're done. Imagine 2 clicks, you're out. And blocking, same thing, you're out. Another very important one is listening to your wants and needs. And this one will make it as clear as possible. Listening to your wants and needs. You sit down with yourself and you're like, you know what? I think I should start to jog. That's your brain telling you something. That's your body telling you something. Listen to that. Lean into that. You start to sit down with yourself every 2 seconds and you start to think, but then why didn't I, why can't I, go see my mom? Go visit my parents? It's been a minute. That's your body telling you need to visit, you need to feel some love. And you want to do that. Listen to that. Listen to those wants and needs. They don't always have to be food and partying, jamani. Si kila kitu ni about kulewa na kukula. Sometimes it's those small things. Wait, by the way, when's the last time I sat down and called my best friend and we had a whole chat? That's a want. You're wanting to be felt. You're wanting to be heard. You're wanting to feel care or to give care to someone else. Those things, you sit down with yourself and you're like, baby, Aki, these kids in Nairobi, guy, imagine they don't have food and there's that children's home right next to your house and you've never gone. Go there. Give your love, give your time, give your volunteer where you can. Why? Because that will fulfill a need deep inside you and a want deep inside you. You want to go back to school. You're like, baby, squeeze you. Follow that thought.
Exactly.
Find a way. Go back to school. Study. Get that degree. Get that diploma. Finish that KCSE out of J. Maliza. Tukwe serious. Follow your needs. Follow your wants. And they don't always have to be material. That's what we're trying to tell you. Fulfill those needs and wants.
Exactly. And we still have time. Pick relationships that are just about harmony and not discord. Because sometimes we are drawn to very toxic people and very toxic situations because it's fun, it's thrilling, there's an edge to it. You feel alive, after you argue with somebody and then you have makeup sex. It feels very nice and it feels like you're living in the moment and you can look back and say, the days of my youth were interesting. But instead of that, why don't you just focus on something harmonious? Somebody who makes you happy. You see them and you're at peace. They see you and they also feel safe. It's just not always bombarding and, it's not violent. It's just peaceful. So seek out more relationships that are on that side, that are on harmony and peace and love. Instead of, I'm Gen Z, I'm living my best life. I want to be doing the most. I'm trending.
Not every single time you hang out with someone should be like, hey, I need a minute to recover.
Exactly.
You need good energy. And in summary, we also have setting healthy boundaries. That comes from that, making good friends, all of that. Quit seeking validation from people. Validation should always come from inside or from the Lord or Allah or whoever you pray to. Another one is having the zest for knowledge. Always try and learn. Always try and, equip yourself with new information. And finally, explore your femininity. We are so afraid of figuring out our big O's. We are so afraid of going to a practical gyna. Just go to a gyna. Like, have you ever gone? Do you even know what your lady bits are like? Like, go and let someone else tell you.
Have
by
you
the
even
way,
seen them? Do you put a mirror down
do you
there?
put a mirror and chungulia and you're like, by the way, kumbe kuna kanga hivyo. You know, all of these things are important. So explore, explore, explore. I feel like there is no time to go on. Nimepigiwa kelele ya kutosha. And for that reason, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. My name is Kathomi Kathomi.
And my name is Turife. See you tomorrow.